Mr. Chairman, leaders of the various delegations of self-determination groups and ethnic nationalities all over Nigeria, members of the High Table, ladies and gentlemen. This is a joint proclamation made on behalf of the peoples of Southern and Middle Belt territories of Nigeria, proposing the deferment of the 2019 elections and the immediate undertaking of the reconfiguration of the damaged constitutional foundations of Nigeria. And it is presented at the World Press Conference on the 11th day of December 2018 in Lagos. And it is titled, "The Distressed Federation of Nigeria, the repudiated 1999 Constitution, and the immediate imperative of a people's countermand to a perilous electoral voyage." Again, the title, "The Distressed Federation of Nigeria, the repudiated 1999 Constitution, and the imperative of a people's countermand to a perilous electoral voyage." I will start with the protocols. Having watched in absolute horror, like trapped passengers aboard a rudderless ship of the Nigerian state sailing into deeper troubled waters by way of plunging heedlessly into further national elections in 2019 under the thoroughly disputed 1999 Constitution, we, the undersigned, on behalf of the regional self-determination initiatives across the Southern and Middle Belt territories of Nigeria, cooperating under the aegis of the Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination, hereinafter called the Alliance, wish to proceed as follows. Number one, that the history of the colonial beginnings of Nigeria as a British business enterprise is too well known to bear any further repetition, and so it will suffice to remind us that Nigeria was not the consensual project of its constituent component nationalities, and that 4 decades into the Lugadian experiment of 1914, the regional leaders of the forcefully amalgamated territories had no faith whatsoever in the artificial political union into which their peoples had been locked by the British, and so, while Alhaji Ahmadu Bello, as Premier of the Northern Region, lamented the British imposed union as the mistake of 1914, Chief Obafemi Awolowo had dismissed Nigeria as a mere geographical expression. Number two, recently declassified secret colonial records now affirm and confirm the heavy manipulations by the British to create a lopsided union in which what was packaged as independence in 1960 was, for the Southern and Middle Belt Nigeria, merely a transition from external British colonialism to internal caliphate colonialism, manifesting Nigeria progressively as a British/Caliphate joint business venture, holding the South and Middle Belt territories and peoples in servitude. On this note, it is instructed to recall the December 1913 description by the then Secretary for the Colonies, Lord Harcourt, of the impending January 1st, 1914 illicit annexation of Southern Nigeria to Northern Nigeria, as the British marrying off the Southern Lady of Means to the poor but well-conducted Nigerian youth, Northern youth, and to point out that it was the celebration of this grand bequest that Ahmadu Bello had declared to his lieutenants in the very week of Nigeria's independence in October 1960, that the new nation called Nigeria should be an estate of our great-grandfather, that's his own great-grandfather, Madam Fodio. We must ruthlessly prevent a change of power. We will use the minorities of the Middle Belt as willing tools, God forbid, and the South as a conquered territory, God forbid. Say it together, God forbid. And never to allow them to rule over us, and never allow them have control over their future, God forbid. This is as quoted in Parrot newspaper of 12th October 1960. Number 3, we recall that as the departure of the British drew near in the early 1950s, the ethno-linguistic, cultural, and religious diversities of the peoples of the territory dictated the adoption of a federal constitution model, in which the then 3 largely autonomous regions, northern, eastern, and western regions, owned and controlled their assets, contributing an agreed percentage of their income, 15% maximum, to finance the upkeep and operations of the center, the federal government, in the limited function jointly delegated to it by the federative regions. And it is pertinent to note that the high degree of autonomy which defined this federal model resulted from the 8-point demand raised by Sir Ahmadu Bello himself, Premier of the then Northern region, following the Northern opposition to and defeat of the 1953 independence motion moved by Anthony Enahoro. Number 4, the military coups of 1966 truncated the aforementioned federation model, toppling and jettisoning the 5 constitutions which define the Federation of Nigeria, the 4 regional and 1 federal constitutions, imposing a unitary system in which the center, federal, masquerading as the federal government, forcefully seized, confiscated, and became the owners of the assets and sovereign rights of the rich regions, fractured force into 12 states in 1967, and subsequently to the present 36 states, which grovel at the feet of an omnipotent federal government with a 68-item federal executive legislative list that rendered the states completely incapacitated. As far as we are concerned, what happened in 1966 truncated Nigeria. The Nigeria our fathers negotiated in 1959 up to elections 1960 died in 1966. It is self-evident, number 5, that this inverted federalism is directly responsible for the globally acknowledged failings of Nigeria in all spheres, manifesting in pervasive corruption, decayed infrastructure, gross insecurity, mass poverty, and hopelessness, thrusting Nigeria upon the global podium as the case study of a failed state. It is also self-evident that the many regional agitations in Nigeria, whether for resource control, exit from the failed Nigeria Union, or for regional autonomy, or for sovereign national conference, are basically regional responses to Nigeria's inverted and distorted federalism, and therefore raise sovereignty questions that elections cannot answer. That, number 6, that from the point of the collapse of the federative constitutions in 1966, Nigeria ceased to be a federation, and that the unitarist country imposed by a combination of brute force and guile since 1966 has become, for the constituent component units and component ethnic nationalities of Nigeria, an occupation force operating as an adverse suzerainty in negation and suppression of the collective sovereignties of the said constituent component nationalities, which now feel entrapped in the union of attrition and death that Nigeria has become for their various peoples, especially in the southern and middle belt territories, which had been at the receiving end of the belligerence of a section of Nigeria, as shown on the map behind us, which owe it a duty of faith to kill others as stipulated in Sharia, and which does not believe that all men are born equal as stipulated in their principle of feudalism. Number 7, the simultaneous imposition of Sharia by the 12 contiguous states of the federal section or the feudal section of northern Nigeria in the year 2000 rendered the already distressed union of Nigeria practically untenable, since Sharia and feudalism are mutually exclusive with democracy and constitutionalism, to which the rest of Nigeria subscribed, and so it became a situation of irreconcilable clash of civilizations, with little prospects of finding any viable, sustainable resolution, as no side can be compelled or persuaded to abandon their worldview. Number 8, that the present imposed master-servant constitutional order, which emanated from the series of decrees made between 1966, when Nigeria failed to exist, and 1999, which birthed both the so-called 1979 Constitution and its 1999 reincarnation, called the 1999 Constitution, that currently define the union called Nigeria, cannot be the basis for any democracy, for the same reasons that no democracy could have been built on the apartheid constitution in South Africa. Number 9, that many years of painstaking people-led democratic processes, including PRONACO and other multi-regional initiatives, to find a sustainable resolution to the damaged constitutional foundations of Nigeria, had been ignored and denigrated by successive federal governments, including the present administration, as recent as November 2018, when in faraway Paris, France, President Muhammadu Buhari declared that those talking about restructuring were lazy, and without a clue on what they mean by restructuring and how it could be undertaken. A comprehensive response was given by us as to the meaning, content, and process of restructuring, as was raised by an alliance partner organization titled Open Memorandum to President Muhammadu Buhari on his Paris queries on restructuring. You can find this on Facebook. Just Google it on Facebook. And we adopt, the link is available too, we adopt and incorporate the full text of the said open memo on November 16, 2018, as the wider articulation of the issues around the demand for the reconfiguration of the constitutional foundations of Nigeria, preferably through referendum. It is also a matter of public knowledge. Number 10, it is also a matter of public knowledge that as a part of the aforementioned people-led processes, the component regional board blocks of Nigeria throughout the southern Nigeria and the Middle Belt had in the course of the last 3 years taken their turns to publicly repudiate the 1999 Constitution as the basis of the Nigerian Union, and the next logical step is to initiate a time-bound process for the termination of the operation of that constitution. That constitution must die for Nigerians, all the ethnic nationalities, and all the peoples of southern Nigeria and the Middle Belt to live. It is our contention that the most urgent challenge before Nigeria today is to reconstitute itself back to being a federation, as the only viable mechanism for addressing the self-determination and sovereignty issues raised by the thoroughly disputed constitutional arrangements of Nigeria, not by elections that can only exacerbate an already bad situation. The current dangerous crossfire between political gladiators and the trajectory of the political discourse in Nigeria is reminiscent of the 1962 to 1965 episodes, which exploded into the collapse of the Union in 1966. Accordingly, we, the self-determination groups of Yoruba land, under Yoruba Liberation Command and its associates, under the Biafra Coalition, under the Niger Delta peoples, and under the peoples of the Middle Belt, that will reconstitute itself, Nigeria will reconstitute itself back to being a federation as the only viable mechanism for addressing the self-determination and sovereignty issues raised by the thoroughly disputed constitutional arrangements of Nigeria. Repeat, not by election. So, we, the people, the owners of the land, the people that inherited Nigeria as presently constituted from our ancestors, demand that in place of the general elections planned for 2019, a transitional arrangement be immediately instituted to peacefully ease out the rejected unitary constitutional order, while a body with constant powers is also instituted to midwife the emergence of successive constitutional arrangements according to the preferences of the constituent component nationalities of Nigeria to be ascertained by referendum. Referendums in the various constituent units that make up present-day Nigeria to determine whether or not they want to remain in Nigeria or they want to exit. May we inform the political actors from the south and the middle belt of Nigeria that the choice must be made now between standing with the people of southern Nigeria and the middle belt that they claim to lead, who have rejected the 1999 constitution and any elections mandated by it, and stand with the enemies of their people who insist on preserving that master-servant constitution of 1999, which enslaved and impoverished the peoples. We have spoken. Signatories of this are the Olicon Group, the Lower Niger Congress Group, and the United Middle Belt Independent Indigenous Peoples Congress. Thank you.